Merhaba YouTube ALSENYAZ Oyun kanalına hoş geldiniz. Ben İsa. Dragon Age Origin serisine kaldığımız yerden devam ediyoruz. İyi seyirler, başlayalım. Çoktan gücümüzü biraz toparladık, onu görebiliriz. Yani boş vakit olunca çok daha kolay şey yapabiliriz. Mesela benim kurtardığım esir tarafıma aldığım adamı mesela güçlendiririm. Bu çifteli kılıçta bayağı sağlam. Zırh falan da verdim, güzel oldu. O yandaki diğer kalkanlı adamı da güçlendiririm bayağı. İlerleriz yani, yolumuzu buluruz. Hatta bir imkanı olursa büyücü için alsa falan bulursa onu da güçlendiririm. Ondan da ne verir ha, ne şey verir.
Bad dream. Well, it is real, sort of. You see, part of being a Grey Warden is being able to hear the Darkspawn. That's what your dream was, hearing them. The Archdemon, it talks to the Horde, and we feel it just as they do. That's why we know this is really a blight. I don't know if it's really a dragon, but it sure looks like one. But yes, that's the Archdemon. It takes a bit, but eventually you can block the dreams out. Some of the older Grey Wardens say they can understand the Archdemon a bit, but I sure can't. Anyhow, when I heard you thrashing around, I thought I should tell you. It was scary at first for me too. Other than dying young and the whole defeat the Blight alone thing, no. I'm all tapped out for surprises. Anyhow, you're up now, right? Let's pull up camp and get a move on.
Kamp döndüğünüzde grup üyelerinizin sakatlıklarının tamamı iyileşir. Her bir grup üyesi kampın içinde bir yerdedirler. Bu durum kampı yeni ekipmanları dağıtmak, hediye vermek ya da konuşmak için yani normalde verilmiyor. Burada verebiliyoruz sadece. Ama Selim satmazdım ben. Nereden biliyorsun siz?
What do you need?
Düşüler burada.
Ah, it's good to see you, my timely rescuer. Bodon Fennick at your service once again. I saw your camp and remember the kind offer that you made the last time we met. And is there anywhere safer for a poor merchant and his son to sleep? I think not. I'm perfectly willing to offer you a fine discount for the inconvenience of our presence. How does that sound? Good? Yes? I'm sure you'll be pleased with the goods my boy and I have collected, and with your discount.
Vardır. Herkes yaşıyorlar benim. Sonra filan var. Kodemi 7 mi? Oha! Bayağı pahalı, param etmiyor. Bakayım. Asa. Asa hayalim ya bizim olduğumuz yer. Çok para lazım ya, çok para lazım. Büyücü almamızı alacağız onu. Alıyorum da inşallah da ondaki daha sağlam değildir. Güzel şeyler varmış. İşte bir şey var. Şunları bir daha tak da.
Hello.
The boy's a bit simple, but he's rather good with enchantments. One of those tranquil fellas actually called him a... what was it now? A savant. I had no idea such a thing existed. He can fold lyrium into almost any weapon or piece of armor, though naturally some of the more extravagant materials will take more lyrium than others. It's a process that some of the master smiths back in Orzammar will perform, but my boy here is just as adept at it. Isn't that right, boy?
Enchantment.
And there you have it.
Yapsın bakayım.
Enchantment.
Tabii para yok ki, neyle yaptıracağız geç. Nasıl yapıyor? Kabul ettik. Tabii ki arttıracağım. Bol. Tamam, şöyle mi? Şurada bakalım. Verilmiyor ki, gerçi niye veremiyorum acaba? Neyse. Şimdi şunu diyeceğiz. Bu ne işe yarıyormuş? Aa. Belki topla loot falan vardır, onu toplayalım öyle gidelim. Bu ablamız nerede? O nereye gitti? Ha, şurada.
What do you wish of me? We are in camp, so 'tis as good a time as any. What do you wish of me? If you must. Why do you ask me such questions? I do not probe you for pointless information, do I?
Bunu sürekli tersliyor ama.
Beg pardon then while I jump for joy. What is it you asked if I grew up in the wilds? A curious question. Where else would you picture me? For many years it was simply Flemeth and I. The wilds and its creatures were more real to me than Flemeth's tales of the world of man. In time I grew curious. I left the wilds to explore what lay beyond, never for long. Brief forays into a civilized wilderness. Would you not do the same? Your world is an unforgiving and cold place. The wilds I hail from is home to me, and I a natural denizen. For all that I had been taught, however, the truth of the civilized lands proved to be overwhelming. I was unfamiliar with so much. So confident and bold was I, yet there was much that Flemeth could never have prepared me for. Equal parts daring and foolhardy, perhaps. Only once was I accused of being a witch of the wilds, and that by a chastened who happened to be travelling with a merchant caravan. He pointed and gasped and began shouting in his strange language, and most assumed he was casting some curse upon me. I acted the terrified girl, and naturally, he was arrested. Men are always willing to believe two things about a woman. One, that she is weak, and two, that she finds him attractive. I played the weakling and battered my eyelashes at the captain of the guard. Child's play. The point being that I was able to move through human lands fairly easily. Whatever humans think a witch of the wild looks like, 'tis not I. Not that I did not have trouble. There are things about human society which have always puzzled me, such as the touching. Why all the touching for a simple greeting? Yes, yes, some men have painted lines across the maps. I've seen them. I'm sure the human world is very diverse, but the differences are mostly meaningless. There were many nuances that Flemeth could never tell me of. When to look into another's eyes, how to eat at a table, how to bargain without offending. None of these things I knew. I still do not understand it all, truth be told, but then I gave up long ago any hope of doing so. When I returned to the wilds last, I swore to Flemeth that I had no intention of leaving again. Yes? Let's ignore the entire Darkspawn threat and the presence of a simpleton as your only other Grey Warden ally, then. Not that I lack appreciation for the intent of your comment. Thank you. Well, let's get on with it before the ground opens up and swallows us, yes?
Güzel. Biraz giriş yaptı.
Oh, why, you little... Your furry friend here took offense at me getting near his food. He snapped at me, look. Sometimes I forget that he's a war dog. That'll teach me.
Seviyormuş.
Yes.
Indeed.
Yes.
arttırabilsem aslında bir abartı olur ya. 5-6 kişi olsak da yeter bana gerçi. Oo, bir sürü yer var. Acaba bu haritaya nasıl geçiyor? Burada. Yani şöyle yaptık. Bence buna gidelim. Buradan şunları falan dolanırız. Ne oldu?
It will be done.
You have coin, stranger? With Orzammar closed off, old Tegra can get you a discount. Fine weapon and arms, dwarven made. There's two things I'm here for. Travel or trade. Understand?
Param yok be abiciğim. Şuralarda çok iyi şeyler oluyor da işte param yok.
Here.
Konudaki daha iyi ya. Onları satayım ben o zaman.
You have coin, stranger? With Orzammar closed off, old Tegra can get you a discount. Fine weapon and arms, dwarven made.
Hemen bir paramı kasayım, çok daha iyi şeyler alırız bence.
As you say.
Stop right there, outsider. The Dalish have camped in this spot. I suggest you go elsewhere, and quickly. This is no stop on a traveler's journey. We have neither an inn for you to rest in nor bread to share. I suggest you move on. I find that hard to believe. What business could we Dalish possibly have with a group like yours? A Grey Warden? How do I know you're telling the truth? No, that's true. Perhaps I shall let the Keeper decide for himself. In the camp, I suggest you keep your hands to yourself, and remember that our arrows are still trained on you. Follow me.
Bize süper olur.
I see we have guests. Who are these strangers, Mithra? I have precious little patience and less time to spend on outsiders today.
This one claims to be a Grey Warden and wishes to speak with the clan. I thought it best to leave the decision to you.
That was wise of you. Masirinus, Mithra, you may return to your post.
Manuvinen, Keeper.
Now, allow me to introduce myself. I am Zathrian, the keeper of this clan, its guide and preserver of our ancient lore. And you are? I guide my fellow Dalish, and they follow my word out of respect. But I would still prefer to know with whom I am speaking. Manners. From a Shemlin. Interesting. What might be your mission here? Have you come to spread news of the Blight? I had already sensed the corruption spreading in the south. The existence of the Blight is not news to me. I would have taken the clan north by now, had we the ability to move. Sadly, as you can see, we do not.
Yes, it seems like you've had your own troubles. What are the odds?
So their first reaction to trouble is to flee from it. Curious.
I imagine you are here regarding the treaty we signed centuries ago. Unfortunately, we may not be able to live up to the promise we made. This will require some explanation. Please, follow me. The clan came to the Brazilian forest 1 month ago, as is our custom when we enter this part of Ferelden. We are always wary of the dangers in the forest, but we did not expect the werewolves would be lying in wait for us. They ambushed us, and though we drove the beasts back, much damage was done. Many of our warriors lie dying as we speak. Even with all our magic and healing skill, we will eventually be forced to slay our brethren to prevent them from becoming beasts. The Blight's evil must be stopped. But we are in no position to uphold our obligations. I am truly sorry. The affliction is a curse that runs rampant in their blood, bringing great agony and then ultimately either death or a transformation into something monstrous. The only thing that could help them must come from the source of the curse itself. And that would be no trivial task to retrieve. Within the Brazilian forest dwells a great wolf. We call him Witherfang. It was within him that the curse originated, and through his blood that it has been spread. If he is killed and his heart brought to me, perhaps I could destroy the curse. But this task has proven too dangerous for us. I sent some hunters into the forest a week ago, but they have not returned. I cannot risk any more of my clan. From whom? The children of the stone? The Shemlin? Do you truly think they have time to spare for us? We would assist with the Blight, of course. And you would have our gratitude. Anyone who would undertake such danger for our benefit would be remembered for it. Few have who are not one of our own. I must warn you that more than werewolves lurk in the Brazilian forest. It has a history full of carnage and murder, you see. Where there is so much death, the veil separating the spirit realm from our own becomes thin, allowing spirits to possess things, living or dead. But if you can indeed help, then I wish you luck. Then I suggest you see Master Verathorn. I will instruct him to put aside some supplies for you, the kind that the hunters use. I must return to caring for my people. Creator's speed on your way.
Underanitation, Grey Warden. My name is Lanaya. I am Zathrian's first, what you might call an apprentice, perhaps. I've been studying under the Keeper all my life. I am a bit curious of the outside world. Do you mind if I ask you a question or two? I hear the human cities are very large, thousands upon thousands of souls all packed together in their houses. Is that true? How very loud that must be with everyone talking all at once. I try to imagine those of our people living in such a place, surrounded by walls of stone and indifference. It is a difficult thought. Better for our people, yes. Elves are not the same as your kind. Our souls are more fragile. Is that the right word? It is said that one day we will have a land of our own. We Dalish gather the ancient wisdom in preparation for this. When that day comes, all elves, even those who have forgotten, will reclaim their former glory. I have a question, if it's not too impolite to ask. Do your people regret what they did to ours? I see. That is difficult for our people to accept. Even if only some were in favor of what was done to us, the rest did nothing to stop it. A poet once wrote of them, before the fall of the Dales. Like dragons they fly, glory upon wings. Like dragons, they savage, fearsome, pretty things. But you don't need me to quote poetry to you. Forgive me. Perhaps you have some questions of your own. I'm hardly anyone special, I assure you. If I seem different from the rest of my clan, it's only because I was born amongst humans. I came to the Dalish at a very young age, but I've always retained my curiosity about the world I came from. They have reason. Since the days of Arlathan, my people have been either subjugated or homeless. It requires an individual to prove he is not the outsider we have come to expect. Your own task to help our clan is certainly a step in the right direction. That was our second homeland. Our first was the great city of Arlathan. The Dales came when they were freed from enslavement. Elves everywhere journeyed hundreds and thousands of miles to the Dales, eager to start their lives anew. They called it the Long Walk. They reached the Dales and made it their own. And one day it was taken from us too, and you wonder why we are hostile. It was our ancestral home, long ago when the humans first came to these lands. We were free then, and immortal. We did not know how to deal with the humans, and in the end, they turned their power against us and destroyed Arlathan. Our ancestors were enslaved, and our culture lost forever. Not to my knowledge. According to the old tales, the human mages sank Arlathan into the ground, crushing it beneath the rock. The Tevinter Imperium was a force to be reckoned with. It was ruled by mages with powerful blood magic. Though Arlathan fought, they lost. Shemlin, we call them. Quick children. I suppose it takes a certain arrogance to look upon another people as children, no? Perhaps we should be more heedful of our own role in our Lathan's loss. Even so, it was a bitter lesson to learn. One we are not grateful for. Aren't you? You're human, and to many of them, you represent the humiliations our people have suffered for generations. You may not have been personally responsible, but such feelings are not easily overruled by logic or fairness. Oh? That is easy to say when you are not a homeless wanderer of a broken people. It is all we can do to cling onto our past now. Perhaps this may change one day, but I believe the humans would have to take the first steps, if they are capable. That was our second homeland. Our first was the great city of Arlathan. The Dales came when they were freed from enslavement. Elves everywhere journeyed hundreds and thousands of miles to the Dales, eager to start their lives anew. They called it the Long Walk. They reached the Dales and made it their own. And one day it was taken from us too, and you wonder why we are hostile. Certainly. My parents were servants to a human merchant whose caravans plied the southern routes. One day, bandits killed him, and my parents both. I was the only survivor, just a young girl, and the bandits took me. I was their servant for several years. It was, though long years of reflection have allowed me to come to terms with it, to put them in perspective. I can only imagine what would have happened had the clan not saved me from them. I owe them my life for that, and more. A keeper is, first and foremost, the leader of the clan. He decides where we go and when we shall move. He's also responsible for knowing the clan's ancient lore and passing it on to the others in the clan. Without a keeper, the clan's knowledge is lost forever. So the clan protects him like no other. As you wish. Darth Shirel.
At least they have chosen freedom over subjugation. Better.
Hello? I am Kamen, a hunter apprentice. Though I wish I could become a real hunter. I shouldn't be talking about this to an outsider. You wouldn't understand. I suppose there's no harm in it. It's not like you can help me.
Are all these bears such cringing, ineffectual creatures?
I've been an apprentice for too long. To become a true hunter, I must bring back the pelt of a beast I killed myself. A boar or a wolf or something. I wanted to hunt in the forest, but we're forbidden to enter because of the attack. But the real problem is Gaina.
Ne diyorsun lan? Ona mı aşık?
She's my heart's desire. I have asked for her hand, but she cruelly refuses it. She will not bond with an apprentice, she says, and calls me a child. I am no child. If I was a hunter, I could prove it, but I cannot hunt, and Gaina will never bond with me. I feel so helpless. I shouldn't have brought it up. Just leave me to my misery. You think I haven't thought about this? There's nothing I can do. No, I couldn't do that. I must kill the beast myself. It is my rite of passage to become a full hunter. You are right. I do want to marry Gaina before she marries someone else. So you would get a pelt for me? Why would you do that? then
Ma
I am very grateful.
maksat aşıkları
I will pray to
birleştirelim.
Andrul, the goddess of the
Birleştirelim,
hunt, for your
yapalım.
success.
Yaparız biz bu işi. Maksat aşıklar buluşsun. Ablamızın pek tam gönüllü olmasa da hallederiz.
I'm sorry, but I must attend to our ailing fallen.
What are you doing? You've warped the wood completely. Did you leave it out in the rain?
No, Master Ferrothorn. I think I just used too much heat.
You're not smelting ore like a Durgenlin. This is living wood. It requires patience and delicate hands, not more heat.
My actions bring me sorrow, Master Ferrothorn.
And so they should. Truly the art will be lost to us forever at this rate. Throw away your dead wood and start anew, and I shall speak to our guest. Now then, please forgive my distraction, stranger. Is there something that you need? Yes, the keeper sent word that you might ask me for such. I took the liberty of assembling some goods that our hunters use. There is a large chest by the Araville, where I put everything we could spare. Feel free to sort through it and take whatever you need. Dareth Shiro, may the creators visit fortune upon you. What do you wish? I'm the clan's craftsmaster. It's my responsibility to learn what I can of the ancient elven arts of shaping wood and ore. In truth, we Dalish know little of the art compared to what we once did. And even what we know has taken us many lifetimes to achieve. There is wood that, if treated properly, is as hard as steel but far lighter. It grows only in this forest, Ironbark. The keeper has forbidden us from entering the forest to collect the wood. This means I cannot make our finest crafts for years to come. I would be hesitant to ask it of you, but if you should come across Ironbark, I suppose there would be no harm in gathering some. It is blue and very distinctive. You can only harvest the bark which has fallen off the tree from age. Now, if you find some, bring it to me, and I will craft it for you. I excel in making blades from the ironbark, or perhaps a breastplate. Provided there's enough wood, that is. That would please me, so long as our hunters come first. Dareth Shiro, may the creators visit fortune upon you.
Sonda bulalım oğlum eşyaları. Şunu tutak. Çok görmüyorum aslında. Dediği sandık galiba.
It will be done. It will be done.
Şöyle konuşalım bakalım.
Andaran Atishan, outsider. You spoke to him? What did he say? Oh. I don't expect an outsider outsider to understand our ways, but I just can't bond with Kamen. He's been a hunter apprentice for over 2 years now, and he's yet to slay a proper beast. Each time he's tried, something has gone wrong. Perhaps the creators do not wish us to bond. I cannot bond with an apprentice hunter, can I? But what if he never becomes a proper hunter? What will become of our family? Oh, you are right. I have made poor Kamen miserable. No wonder he cannot complete his hunt. Masirinas, thank you. You have helped me put this into perspective. I will go and speak to Kamen. Kamen, I have been a fool.
Gaina? What do you mean? Have you changed your mind?
I have. The outsider has helped me to see that I was wrong. I have made you miserable, and I should not have.
But what about my hunt?
I don't care about that. I know you will pass your hunt in time, and we will be happy. Us and our children.
Thank you, Gaina. You've made me a happy man. I feel blessed by the gods today. We are both very grateful for the part you've played in bringing us together.
How marvelous you are. I am so happy.
Does anyone else feel the urge to vomit? No? Tis just me?
Here, take this. It's been in my family for a very long time, but I hope it plays some part in your battle against the Darkspawn. It's the very least we could do.
Güzel. Öf Morrigan ya, sen de. Teyzemiz ne istiyor?
Who comes? Oh, I beg your pardon, stranger. I was so busy attending to the hala, I did not hear your approach. They are the noble beasts that pull our Aravel, what humans call land ships. They are our companions and our guides. I have seen your horses. The relationship is different, as is the purpose. We ride the hala, but never with reins or a saddle. It is the hala who decide where to lead us, and our privilege that they take our Aravel with them. In return, it's the herder's job to speak to the hala and care for their needs. It's a bond of friendship, and not servitude. I fear she may have been bitten during the werewolf attack. I have tried speaking with her, but she is too agitated for me to understand. The curse would not affect her as it would us, but it would still be lethal, and it may prove contagious to the other hala as well. I can find no wound on her, but if she's truly ill, then I will have to put her out of her misery, for her sake as well as that of the others. I don't know. Do you have any skills that might help her? If you do, I would be grateful. And? What do you think? I am glad you attempted it regardless. No, I'm sorry. She isn't calming any more around you than she is for me.